This video covers setting up workflow triggers within your CRM. The video walks through several of the most common ways to trigger workflow automation throughout your CRM. To get started, hover over the Automation dropdown and select Workflow Manager. Here you want to start by creating a new workflow, or you can click into Edit any of the workflows for the next step. This is how you can automatically trigger workflows for contacts added into your account. Within your specific workflow, make sure that it is set to a specific group within your CRM. Then, check the box to automatically trigger this workflow for contacts that are added into this group manually. To manually trigger a workflow for contacts in your account, click to access the CRM Activities tab. Within the CRM Activities tab, click the Workflow button. Here you can activate a specific workflow in your account and select when you want this workflow to start. Define who on your team is assigned to the workflow and if this workflow is associated with a specific opportunity or group in your CRM. Then activate the workflow for your contact. Next, we'll cover triggering workflows through changes in your user-defined fields. To do this, hover over the Contacts dropdown and select User Fields. Start by identifying the type of field you want to add a workflow trigger for, then click to add a trigger. For this example, if the value changes from anything in the account to any one of your specific options listed on the top right, you can select a workflow to trigger. You can trigger workflows when contacts click on a specific link in your email. To do this, hover over the Automation dropdown and select Link Library. In the Static Links tab, you can use the search filter along the right to identify your specific link. Then click to add an auto action. Here you can add contacts or remove them from specific groups, as well as trigger workflows to happen when this link is clicked. You can trigger a workflow when a CRM activity has been completed in your CRM. Within the Contact CRM Activities tab, you can create a new activity for anyone in your team. Once you have defined the activity to assign to the contact, you can activate a specific workflow within the Upon Completion area of this activity. You can set up hot or cold automation based on contacts engagement within your CRM. To do this, hover over the Automation dropdown and select Lead Scoring. In the Automation area, you can add a new hot automation rule. So when contacts are associated with a specific group and meet a certain criteria for demographic and engagement scores, you can activate a specific workflow automatically. You can also create new cold automation rules. So if a contact is a member of a specific group and has a minimum demographic lead score that never exceeds a certain amount of points in a certain date frame, you can activate a workflow to happen. You can activate workflows based on Signup Forms that have been completed in your CRM. Within the Website dropdown, select Signup Forms. Then click Edit next to any of your specific forms. In the Options tab, scroll down to the Upon Confirmation area. Here you can activate a specific workflow once a contact has confirmed your sign-up form. You can set up workflow triggers based on contacts who have checked into your event. To do this, hover over the Calendar dropdown and select Events List. Then click to edit your specific event. In the Attendance tab, click to edit the check-in actions. Once a contact has checked into your specific event, you can define a specific workflow to trigger and assign it to a specific person on your team. You can also trigger workflows through your surveys. Within the Communicate dropdown, select Surveys. The first option is to select a specific survey question. If you scroll down to the bottom of the survey question, you can assign a workflow to trigger for all respondents who have completed the survey question. Otherwise, to trigger a workflow based on your entire survey, make sure that your survey questions are being scored. Then, select the specific survey from the Surveys box. Scroll to the bottom of your survey and click to add a scoring action. Here you'll define the scoring range and when you want this workflow to trigger. You can define a custom message to this user or direct them to a custom thank you URL. If the contact lands between your scoring range, you can activate a specific workflow to trigger for this contact. There are many other ways to trigger workflows throughout your CRM. To learn more about the different ways to trigger workflows throughout your CRM, visit the Workflow Triggers Help article within the Help section of your account.